Ooh. Okay, time to jump in the sauna. Now the fun begins.
So Chris Eubank Jr. has officially missed weight. First attempt on the scale is 160.2. Second attempt on the scale is 160.05. When you sign up and you have a contract saying that this fight is going to be at 160 pounds, that's the weight that you signed up for. You have to make that weight. Otherwise, if you don't make this weight, there's going to be fines involved, and Chris Eubank has been fined $500K.
Show me the money.
Show me the motherfucking money.
All the credit in the world to Chris Eubank for doing everything trying to make this weight. You guys seen his videos of him cutting weight, of him completely draining himself. You guys seen his eyes were sucked in, his cheekbones were popping out a little bit more. All the credit in the world to Chris Eubank. During this whole time and this whole buildup, he was calling Conor Ben a cheat. He was cutting corners and he was unprofessional in the sport of boxing. I think that's exactly why Chris Eubank didn't shrug it off and have a bad attitude against cutting weight, because he didn't come in 5 pounds over, 6 pounds over, 7 pounds over. He did everything that he possibly could trying to make this weight, and it showed on the scale. I didn't want Chris Eubank. When your body says no, it says no. You can't push it any further. And you don't want to have this fight called off. You don't want something to happen where Chris Eubank Jr. lands up being in the hospital because he was pushing his body more than it could handle. Like I said, all the credit in the world to Chris Eubank for getting as close as he possibly could to 160 pounds. Now, this does concern me when it comes to this fight. It doesn't change who I'm picking for this fight, which is Chris Eubank Jr. Even if he's not 100% of himself, even if he's not 90% of himself, 80% of himself, 60% of himself, 70% of himself, I believe that Chris Eubank Jr. has enough experience. I believe he carries enough experience from being at that elite level. Even though he has come up short, he still takes that experience with him, and he has a few tricks up his sleeve. Maybe he might not get the knockout, maybe he might not get the stoppage, but I believe Chris Eubank Jr. has enough experience to squeeze out the win in this fight if he's not 100% of himself, 90% of himself, due to weight issues. Now, he does have a rehydration clause, and I believe you can't rehydrate 10 pounds over. I know he's going to rehydrate over, and then you have to come back down and re-weigh in tomorrow as well. I believe at, 8 in the morning or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think Chris Eubank is going to be just fine. He's still going to be the heavier fighter in this fight. But Conor Ben's, he's the younger fighter, right? He has youth on his side. I believe he has the pressure on his side. I think his best bet is, I think what he's going to try to do, actually, I think he's going to try to go in there, put the pressure, swing on Chris Eubank Jr. and try to get out and try to get him out early. I believe that's his game plan. But like I said, I think Chris Eubank Jr. has enough experience and he has some tricks up his sleeve that he can squeeze out the win if he's not 100% of himself due to weight issues. So let me know what you guys think about all this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.